Okay, hello everyone. How are you? Good morning. Thank you for joining our session. Really happy to be here sharing with you these minutes before lunch. Whenever the team tells we are okay to go with the streaming, we are ready to go. Okay, we good? Perfect. Hello, my name is Franco Picato. I'm Executive Director at Chequeado from Argentina. It's been a more or less like 13-hour flight from Buenos Aires. It's great to be here. Chequeado is a non-profit organization dedicated to improving information integrity through journalism, fact-checking, education, and innovation. And we would like to share with you today some interesting experience we've been working on, building collectively networks. This is not a session on social networks. This is not a session on networking, which you would find in business meetings and cocktails. This is a session about building impact networks where individuals and organizations can work together for a better impact. We're going to go through some interesting cases to make the case for collaboration, some examples we've been working on down in Argentina and in Latin America, some step-by-step approach on how we can build and sustain and grow impactful networks among journalists, individuals, organizations, and civic leaders. Some lessons we have learned in this journey and some fundamental principles that we would like to share with you. So, we know this is a challenging environment in the information environment. We have problems with the attention economy, competing for limited audience attention everywhere. Misinformation is here to stay. It's one of the most relevant risks identified by the World Economic Forum in the world. Selective news avoidance is obviously affecting older audiences, but also the younger. And we know we've got fewer resources to work, distribute, and produce news. So what we think is that collaborative networks emerge as a really transformative solution, enabling different organizations to pool resources, share best practices, and collectively address these industry's pressing issues. So why collaboration matters? Because by building partnerships, by building alliances, we can foster resilience. By connecting media, educators, civic leaders, and technologists. But also we can tackle disinformation together. No single organization can address the issues of mis and disinformation alone, so collaboration is crucial. And we need to start sharing resources, time, people, talent. Collaborative networks can allow efficient use of resources among different organizations. So by building these kind of alliances, we strengthen our ability to achieve common impact and common goals. Just a very short evolution of collaborative journalism. We've been coming from isolated reporting. This is just journalists working on their own, independently on their individual stories. But then we've been evolved to some joint investigations with some more collaboration across newsrooms for reporting, to cross-newsroom partnerships, where different newsrooms are collaborating together, developing deeper relationships between each other for a comprehensive coverage. So what is the next step? Where should we be evolving together as a community in this information ecosystem? I believe that impact networks are the next step in this journey. There is a tremendous opportunity to build new kind of networks that are not just for collaboration on resources, but to create real impact, systemic change. This evolution has allowed us for a more comprehensive impact, comprehensive and impactful reporting with newsrooms that are interconnected. And I would like to share now with you some of our experiences at Chequeado in Latin America. One of them is Latam Chequea, which is a network of fact-checkers. The second one is Reverso, which is an electoral consortium that we've been working on in different elections in our country. We also have a trainers network that help professors at universities teach misinformation issues in different countries in the region. And we've also have developed the Media Fact Latam, which is a fact-checking accelerator. And last but not least, our new journalism and innovation network. That's a lot. It's been an amazing journey, and this is what we would like to share with you today. Latam Chequeado, it's a 10-year-old network. It's been created with different organizations from Latam. This is more than 40 organizations in 21 countries working together. Firstly started as a joint event where we could share experiences twice a year. Then we started working together to improve our coverage and share our resources. And now it's growing bigger and stronger. We have started developing this platform for advocacy to engage with governments and platforms regarding crucial issues of mis and disinformation. We are also working on an innovation pillar to help each other share technological resources and strategies. We've also been developing educational activities in different organizations, and we are creating a research hub to investigate and know better the disinformation narratives that go in different countries in Latin America. This was such a great experience. In 2021, the Latam Chequeado Vaccines Project, where 23 organizations from 11 countries worked together to fight vaccine disinformation through shared strategies and resources. We had content production, videos, audio, clips that were shared among the network, data and monitoring tools that were developed, a database with more than 400 vaccine-related claims and 50 cards identifying recurring disinformation spreaders. We've also developed outreach strategies, 47 influencers working together with the fact-checking community in 4 countries to reach more and more people. So we got a wide dissemination and reach and real-world impact. But that's on the regional side of things and how to build regional networks to go with a stronger and more coordinated effort to fight against misinformation. But we've also developed in Argentina Reverso, which is an electoral consortium. This is not a network that works every year long but just only during a specific election time. Yeah? In this case, we've partnered with more than 120 media outlets in Argentina that were able to produce collectively more than 100 pieces during the 2023 election. We could together do some real-time misinformation tracking to ensure accurate electoral information for Argentinians, and content that was shared and distributed along all the network of social media that were participating in this project. And then we have our fact-checking trainers network, which was created in 2022. This network is training more than 100 journalists in 6 countries, with more than 2,000 students being reached in different universities. This has been a really amazing work in partnership with local fact-checkers in different countries that are working together with professors to get the content go to specific universities and journalism students to develop their fact-checking abilities and skills. And then we've got Media Fact Latam, which is the fact-checking accelerator. This was our pilot just last year in collaboration with the Google News Initiative. And this was a project that enabled us to collaborate cross-border with more than 50 media outlets in our region. The idea was to create some installed capacities within these newsrooms with training and with technology transference, with the use of new technologies that Chequeado is working on. We worked on training on fact-checking with more than 100 journalists from these 5 countries, Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Peru, and the outcomes were really impactful. In just 3 months, these newsrooms that had no previous experience on fact-checking were delivering over 100 fact-checks in their websites and social media handles. So this is the first experience of working together, fact-checkers and news media outlets to strengthen our regional journalism. And last but not least, this is our journalism and innovation network. This is a work together with 5 media outlets within Argentina. We are developing explanatory and investigative journalism in places where journalism investigations are really threatened. We are fostering collaboration among 5 media outlets in zones of news deserts in the country with some in-depth reporting, community-centric storytelling, and knowledge exchange between participants. This has been really amazing in the way that all of us are learning from each other. This is a sort of a cross-pollination experience where one media outlet which is really good at social media can help other ones that are not so strong in that area to learn together and get better results. One newsroom can be really excelling at graphics visualizations, another one in social media distribution, and they are working together to do their research together and get better impact. For example, in this journalism network, we are reaching more than 6 million users in the country, and that's thanks to the work we are doing together. Okay, I'm going too fast. We're good, right? So what have we learned in this almost a decade working together and trying to build impact networks? You need first to identify what your community wants, which are their critical challenges, which are the information gaps that are being faced by your target communities and stakeholders, and really try to understand meaningfully which are the most pressing issues that our collaborative efforts can address. Say it is helping students get their skills to do a better fact-checking work when they become professionals. Say it is because you want to try to fight against news deserts in specific regions, or if you need a macro collaboration between different countries because this is an effort that requires multiple outlets in different regions of an area. So when your needs are clear, then you should start building your partnerships, which will be your potential partners who share your mission, who share your values, and try to align on common goals, resources, and responsibilities of the members of these networks. And it's so important to establish clear communication channels, decision-making process, the governance of the network. It's really an important issue. And also foster trust and collaboration against each other. And then there's the final step would be, let's try to collaborate together. How can we agree on consistent workflows? How are we going to share data? How are we going to define which our standards will be regarding production of video or stories or educational materials? And then encourage and build active participation and knowledge exchange among partners. Try to monitor the progress of the work together and continuously iterate to optimize the process. We've known from this decade working together with different actors in the ecosystem, in the Latin American ecosystem, that collaborative journalism works because you can share resources and be more efficient, because you can co-create impact, and you can craft richer, more diverse narratives in your markets, and because also you can enhance the credibility by coordinating your efforts to combat mis and disinformation. So really, collaborative journalism works. And what have we learned? First, you need to have shared standards. That means which will be your common practices across all the networks and members. You need to develop open data strategies. You need to be transparent enough to show which data and how you are going to share it, which guidelines for collaborative managing this data. And then this is something that I would really like to highlight is collaborative spaces. Are we going to gather together once a week, bi-weekly? Are we going to have just one event a year? Are we going to have webinars to learn together every week, which will be the pace in which we are going to work together, because this kind of networks need time. You need to create trust and to build together. And also training and technology. When you can merge training with tech solutions to empower journalists and fact checkers, results can be wonderful. So building trust, it's really the very first thing we need to work on. Transparency, how will we operate with openness? A consistent communication between each other with clear messages, aligned messaging across the network, and shared values, meaning common set of principles and ethics to guide our work. Building trust over time is crucial, and greater trust leads to greater effectiveness, so this is like the must. And just to wrap up, some fundamental principles that we've learned across this journey, we need to start with shared purpose. That's the very first thing. We are built on foundation of shared purpose and goals, with more transparency, with more practices that foster trust and accountability. Diversity, we shouldn't be afraid of having conflicts within the members of a network. Different opinions are more than welcome, and we have to deal with different perspectives because that will make us richer and more impactful. And of course, having an open mindset. It is a long time investment and an open attitude toward learning and adaptation, by the way. Of course, embracing individual uncertainties, because you never know what is the right path to do everything, so you need to learn in the way. But it is a path to uncovering collective solutions. And finally, engagement. I mean, if we want a network that is strong and working together, we need to create safe spaces where people can connect, engage in the network's purpose and principles. But if we had to think of the next steps, which will be the next stage of big networks and impact networks, I would say that we are in a time in the world and in the information ecosystem where we need to start building networks to try to shift power dynamics and to work on systemic changes. Say this is our relationship with different stakeholders, platforms, our work with governments, our coverage of very social sensitive issues. So by creating impact networks, we can foster collaboration among diverse actors, driving solutions to new problems, and shifting the power dynamics toward more equitable futures. Thank you so much, and I hope we can have a little chat in the minutes we have left. Thank you. Yes.
Hi, thank you so much for your talk. I had a question about this initiative on the elections.
Yep.
So I was just wondering, do you know how the readers, how the public perceives the election coverage from such an initiative? Are there politicians who are maybe, could they say like, oh, they're all like working together? Also, like when we talk about plurality in journalism, like how is it perceived, or does the public see it as making it stronger, like they should? Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. In this case, since it is a fact-checking initiative, so what we are publishing is fact-checking journalism, whether some specific claims have been found they are true or false or misleading. Those skills are not really developed in all media outlets the same. So the first step we made there was, let's have webinars and let's make like the common standards for how to fact-check electoral disinformation. And then each media outlet would produce one piece in a regional space, a city or a province, and then this fact check that was produced locally would be shared nationally among the other members of the network. So I guess that diversity would be something that is totally, consolidated here, because we've got local knowledge on the local scene to produce these fact checks, which are then broadcasted nationally because all the other members of the network would republish the content of the local partner, right? So we wouldn't know, we haven't noticed that this has been perceived like a standardized coverage for all of the same, because we are producing in different contexts each, okay? Hi, how are you?
Hi, thank you. We are trying to build a local journalism network across Europe. Do you maybe have any insights on creating a network like what you're talking about, but across different countries, different cultures?
Well, we would need
a struggle.
we will take a beer after the session to talk about this. It took us more than 10 years to build the LATAM Chequeado organization. It's like 38 Latin America-based organizations working together. We've got regular meetings. We've got an event last year where all the organizations gathered together in Sao Paulo, and there was this general assembly with more than 100 people, and we decided how our board of members would be elected, all together raising hands. That was really passionate conversation, and getting to be very transparent regarding the standards, who could become a member, which would be the eligibility criteria, and some of other rules of this community of practice that were, we worked like over 6 months on a common document that was shared across all the members so that we could agree on the core principles of our work and how we would collaborate together. And of course, it's always a work in progress. It will always be being enhanced collaboratively. Yeah? So that's, you need to talk a lot, build trust first, define your purposes and your goals together, and then just try to make it work. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm Anneke. I'm working at NOST in Berlin, and we are a European network with a focus on Eastern Europe. And my question to you is, very often you meet with the problem that people, media outlets, journalists would like to participate in these networks because they want to have the benefits, but of course in a situation where that is so strained as it is in the moment financially and also time-wise, people often feel that the network is something additional they have to engage in, and this is something they cannot do because they are so busy with solving their daily problems, so that the network actually is always second and not first. So this point of engagement and ownership is really hard to achieve, and I'm interested, how do you tackle this problem?
Totally, yes, that's totally true. We cannot expect that every member has the same level of engagement with the network. So there is a lot of work that if you are having like this coordination role, you need to have people and time allocated to the network coordination and management. So you know that there will be someone in your team who's going to prepare the WhatsApp messages for the network, that will prepare the common documents and share, that will make the forms for the Google survey, for the online survey, and have people answer. So you need to, the network needs some small team or one person that will be in charge of, time-wise developing it, and try to get from your members exactly the amount of time you need. So be very effective on time management. I just need 5 minutes from you. Can you help me with this? Building it step by step and trying to get like these quick wins. Okay, look, with this very short effort we all made, this is how impact we build together. So in time, you will try to build this sense that we can devote a small share of your resources and to get enough and good results for all together, right? So you need someone specifically working on some sort of coordination of the network, totally. Yeah. Thank you for your question.
Thank you for the presentation. It's really inspiring. In the beginning, in one of the slides, I saw that there was activism as if I'm not mistaken, if I understood it correctly. But I'm very curious to understand, since your network is so big and so powerful across so many countries, what is your take on journalism and activism, and how do you incorporate it in your work, if you do at all? Because, of course, people think about it different ways. Sometimes journalists are more than happy to go the next step and create impact and activism through their work. And sometimes you want to stop at just being journalists, but with your network and with your reach and impact, how has the collaborative decided to collectively think about this aspect of working on activism activities after the story has been published?
Well, all the LATAM Chequeado members are part of the International Fact-Checking Network, and one of the principles of the network is that you have to be a non-partisan organization. So activism is not something that it's in our scope of work. It's just journalism, fact-based information. I would say, and that this is my personal opinion, that the only activism we are engaged with is integrity of information and elevating the quality of the debate and access of data for the public, but not engaging in any other kind of activism. Right, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. We have to go? Oh my God. Okay, we can go, we can keep the conversation running in the lunch, right? Thank you everyone so much.